Hello friends, I am Dr. Kuldeep Mohadikar. In this video, I will present my 42nd chapter from the series Literary Pearls. The chapter is entitled as Tennyson as a Poet of Nature. As a poet of nature, Tennyson stands beside Byron, Keats, Shelley, Wordsworth. Comparing with the other nature poets, Harrison points out that Byron is the poet of mountains and ocean, Shelley is the poet of clouds and air, Keats is of the perfume of evening, and Wordsworth is of the meaning and mysteries of nature as a whole. And so Tennyson is the poet of flowers, trees and birds. Tennyson has painted them all, flowers, trees, birds, woods, moors, with the magic of a painter. Tennyson brings out the fanciful beauties of nature, looking at it from an artistic eye. He recognized that there is a settled scheme of great purposes underlining universal order in the world. Illustrations of this pervading law may be found in his conception of nature and his treatment of human action and of natural scenery. Nature, which is for Shelley a spirit of love, to Wordsworth of living and speaking presence of thought, and to Tennyson a process of law including both. Many critics consider Tennyson as the only modern poet since Lucretia who had taken the trouble to understand the words and method of the man. Tennyson was haunted by the fear that in this world prayer is fruitless and that death may be stronger than love, and nature gives an intimations of conscious survival. Yet the fair nature brings in consolation in the materialistic world. In his poems, the changes of seasons, the storms, the sunshine are reflected in the varying moods. The springs, the breeze carry a cheerful message, and quiet sea turns his thoughts to the calm of death. Tennyson feels as a touch of sadness in the life, may list of flowers and foliages in the passing of long light summer days. Tennyson has been very much affected by the cruelty of nature. It is described in his poem, The Maud, for nature is one with rapine, a harm no preacher can heal. The mayfly is stormed by swallow, the sparrow is persuaded by the shriek, and the whole little world where I see it, the world of plunder and prey. Tennyson considered nature red in tooth and cloud, but he also looked courageously in the face of nature. He saw it with a very keen perception, and it was revealed by him with his scientific accuracy. Tennyson found in nature causes both for joy and despair in his poems. In Memoriam, the vast cosmic process has been described. Tennyson's pictures of nature are details and accuracy of observation of nature maybe that is found in his narrative poem, The Lady of Shalott. Tennyson often tricks of nature as an accompaniment of human emotions and sentiments. He has the rare power of giving atmosphere to a poem. He suggests correspondence and interaction between the mind and surrounding. This characteristic of his natural scenery is particularly noticeable in the Lotus Eaters, where atmosphere provides a suitable background to the mariners who want to live a lethargic, lazy life. The sleepy mood of the life of ease and inactivity pervades the entire poem. Tennyson's nature poetry was greatly affected by the temper of time. We can say, temper of time. Tennyson placed accuracy of observation above the imaginative quality. The background of his poetry is always scenery and landscape which he himself had visited. The similes are form the flowers that he himself called in his poems. One feels that the wings of his imagination could not rise for very long or far above the trees of his home. All his nature poems like Lotus Eaters, Onion, the Princess, the nature described by Tennyson is what he had actually seen and experienced because of this too much of accuracy. Tennyson does not soar height on the wings of imagination and fancy. Though Tennyson cannot compete with Wordsworth and Shelley regarding particular frequent of nature, yet in two respects he is unequaled among the English poets. One is the accuracy and delicacy of his perfection, and the other is the felicity of his translation in the language of that which he persuades. Tennyson, with these qualities before our mental eye, the panorama of nature, its beauty, flowers, storms, thunder and tranquility, he is the only one of our great poets whose attitude towards nature was what the modern poet's attitude ought to be. Thus, Tennyson may not have a philosophy of nature in his poems, but he has enough of pleasures of nature in the poem likes Maud and the Lotus Eaters. So this was all from my side, Tennyson as an poet of nature. Thanks friends.